Hi everyone, and today we are going to see about the walls of the heart. First thing, the heart wall. The heart, as of now, we know the heart is made up of cardiac muscle and it is surrounded by pericardium, right? But it has different layers, and now we are going to see about it. First of all, it is surrounded by the pericardium, and middle it is myocardium, and the inner layer is going to be the endocardium. The pericardium is further divided into outer parietal pericardium and inner visceral pericardium. Now we are going to see about the structures of pericardium. Here you can find the parietal pericardium, at the same time the parietal pericardium and the visceral pericardium. The visceral pericardium merges with the myocardium. Okay, the pericardium. The pericardium, as we have seen before, the outer layer is going to be formed by pericardium. Yes, the pericardium is made up of two different layers. One is going to be the parietal pericardium, and the second thing is going to be the visceral pericardium. And the space between these is called as pericardial space, and it is filled by pericardial fluid. This pericardial fluid is usually in the form of a film. Okay, the outer parietal pericardium. The outer parietal pericardium forms the protective cover over the heart that resembles like a heart which is present inside the bag. Okay, and it holds the heart inside the mediastinum. What does mean by mediastinum? The mediastinum is the space between the two lungs. Okay, and it is the fibrous pericardium. Actually, the parietal pericardium is of two layers. One is the outer fibrous pericardium, and the second thing is going to be the inner visceral pericardium. Okay, the fibrous pericardium is attached. Okay, it's attached to the diaphragm below, and it is continuous with the tunica adventitia. Okay, and it is continuous with the tunica adventitia of the vessels entering and leaving the heart. And as it is fiber, it has some elastic properties, right? So it prevents the heart from overstretching. Okay, this is one of the application of the fibrous pericardium. Okay, and the second thing is going to be the inner serous pericardium. The inner serous pericardium is formed by mesothelium. Okay, the mesothelium along with the squamous epithelial cells will produce a small amount of fluid, that is pericardial fluid, and it forms the layer around the pericardium, and the volume of the pericardial fluid is going to be the 25 to 35 ml, and this belongs to the parietal pericardium. And here the inner visceral pericardium, it is inseparable, and it almost emerges with the myocardium, and it is also known as the epicardium. Okay, and this is called as the pericardial fluid which is present between the parietal pericardium and the visceral pericardium. The visceral pericardium is continuous with the myocardium, and the parietal pericardium is have two different layers. One is going to be the fibrous layer, and the other one is going to be the serous layer. This serous layer is supposed to secrete the pericardial fluid. Okay, the middle myocardium is the thickest layer out of all the three walls. When compared to the pericardium and endocardium, the myocardium is going to be the thickest layer, and here it forms the bulk of the heart. Okay, and it has a main action of the myocardium is going to be the pumping action to pump the blood throughout the body. Okay, this myocardium forms in three different components. First component is going to be the muscle fibers forming the contractile unit, and the second component is the muscle fibers forming the excitable unit, and the third component is muscle fibers forming the conduction unit. Okay, and here the cardiac muscle diagram, yeah, you can find some basic information about the cardiac muscle. The cardiac muscle is going to be a striated one, and it is involuntary. Our heart is myogenic, and somehow it is controlled by parasympathetic as well as the sympathetic nerves, that is an autonomic nervous system. And here the cardiac muscle have a peculiar character called as intercalated disc, first thing, and it has nucleus. You can find nucleus here. This is going to be the histology picture of a cardiac muscle. And the only difference between the skeletal muscles and the cardiac muscle in structurally it is nothing but the cardiac muscle is branched, whereas the skeletal muscle is unbranched. Okay. Intercalated disc is a tough double membrane structures. It is located in between the junctions of the two branches. Okay, and here it forms the fusion of cardiac muscle membranes, so that here it forms a adherence junction, and hence it functions as a single unit. Here you can find the junctions. This is going to be the fusion of the membrane forming the adherence junction, and this is called as intercalated discs. And syncytium. What does mean by syncytium? As of now, we know that syncytium is a cytoplasmic continuity between the adjacent cell. But we cannot say the cardiac muscle is going to be a syncytium, but it is a physiologically syncytium. How we say that? At the sides of the membrane, okay, at the sides of the membrane, the adjacent muscle fibers fuse together, forming a gap junction. As of we know that the gap junction is permeable to the ions, right? And as the gap junction is permeable to ions, it facilitates the rapid conduction, and here it functions as single unit. In heart, the syncytium is of two parts. One is going to be the syncytium of atria, and the other thing is going to be the syncytium of ventricles. These two syncytiums are connected together by a non-conducting ring called as atrioventricular ring. This is going to be the atrioventricular ring, and this connects the syncytium. Yes, we have seen about the muscle fibers forming the contractile unit, right? Now we are going to see about the muscle fibers forming the pacemaker. What is meant by pacemaker? The pacemaker is a tissue or a specialized structure that is capable of producing its own impulse, right? And that is called as pacemaker. In heart, it is located in the right atrium, that is in a right corner of the right atrium, okay? And here the pacemaker is in a muscular tissue formed by the modified cardiac muscle fibers, okay? And here it is less striated when compared to the actual cardiac muscles. It is auto-excitable and it produces the action potential. And the pacemaker is formed by means of a pacemaker cells called as P cells. The resting membrane potential of SA node is going to be the minus 55 to minus 60 millivolt. The next thing is the muscle fibers forming the conduction unit. As of now, the impulse is generated and it has to be conducted throughout the heart so that the contraction of the heart or the pumping action of the heart actually takes place. So here there is a requirement of the conduction unit, okay? And here the conduction unit is also a modification of cardiac muscle. The SA node transmits the impulses to the atria directly as it is present in the atria, but it has to be transmitted to the ventricles. If it has to be transmitted to the ventricles, there is a requirement for the conduction unit, and the actual pathway for the conduction is from SA node to AV node, and from there it is conducted by means of a bundle of His and the Purkinje fibers, and this is going to transmit the action potential throughout the ventricles, and there comes the ventricular systole or ventricular contraction by means of depolarization. Endocardium. Endocardium is going to be the innermost layer of the heart wall. It is made up of a single layer of endothelial cells, and these endothelial cells will become continuity with the endothelium of the blood vessels, okay? And this layer is thin, smooth and glistening, okay? Thank you.